Candace called that girl a character from Sesame Street, and now I can't unsee it. We have to talk about Real Housewives of Potomac. Let's get into it.
Give it all away. Give it all. Give it all away.
Okay, so if you missed Sunday's episode of Real Housewives of Potomac, don't worry, because I'm going to bring you up to speed. But nothing crazy happened in this last episode. But what I will say is that Ashley's friend, the one that Candiace refers to as the Sesame Street character, yeah, she kind of, and I'm not referring to her looks, but this woman's character is almost, it's reminiscent of a Sesame Street character, only because it almost feels like either she's really into herself and thinks, like, there are some people, I know a couple of them, who no matter where you go, they will automatically think that everyone's trying to get with them, look at them, is staring them down. Meanwhile, in real world, you look around and you're like, who's looking at you? And you can't really burst their bubble because then it's like, what do you mean? So this is what Ashley's friend was giving last night. So they went to Karen's live show, which I love Karen Huger, but what was the point of the show? And shout out to the producers of Real Housewives of Potomac, because they never disappoint with the receipts and their little shady commentary. I'm actually starting to think that the production is another housewife cast member at this point, because between the flashbacks of showing Chris not paying this girl no mind, I mean, they did this in the beginning when Mia was like, oh, he was looking at me, and then they flashed to Chris, and he's like literally in his phone the entire time. Every time they show us a different clip, he's looking at his phone. So I don't know if that means he was looking at them through his phone. I don't know. I don't know how you are so concerned about who's staring you down. If you have a man, if you're in a relationship and you're good, let people stare. Like, what does it matter to you? But it seems like this was fed to Ashley's friend because they wanted to keep the story going. Okay. Remember, Giselle teed it off in the beginning. Ooh, Chris made me feel uncomfortable, but then he left. He didn't do anything to me, but I just wanted to tell you months after the fact that he did that. And I was uncomfortable by it. So from there, we have Giselle say that. Candiace, rightfully so, pops off with production. Then we have Ashley bringing to the table that her friend was like, oh yeah, he was also flirting with me. And then the other ladies at the table, when they all went out, were saying, oh yeah, he was flirting with us too. It's like, oh, he was flirting with everybody. Wow, he was busy at this party. He was flirting everyone down, and Candiace was just dumb, didn't pay it any mind, I guess. She must have been in the bathroom every single time. Guys, I can't make this up. It's like a clown show. And I don't blame Candiace, because Candiace spoke to her across the table, but that's all. I think what they were trying to get her to do, they were trying to get her to react on camera to this girl, and she wasn't going to do it. Even after the show was over, Ashley was like, I feel like you're dismissing my friend, Candiace. I feel like you're dismissing my friend. She's like, I don't have anything to say to your friend. And frankly, what would they have talked about? The girl told Candiace pretty much everything. There's nothing left to talk about. Okay, fine. He was flirting with you. Okay. Like, good for you, Candiace. Don't give it any light. Don't give it any energy, because that's what they really want out of you. They want you to go wild so that they could be like, what's wrong with her? She has an anger issue. It's like, no, you guys are just pushing and pushing and pushing, and you're doing it to the wrong person, because Candiace has grown immensely since being on the show, and she's not going to throw it all in the garbage can because you guys are trying to be messy and don't really have anything going on in your lives. I mean, Giselle, my thought on Giselle is I don't care for her, and it's not just a TV personality thing. I think Giselle is Giselle. I think Giselle's like this outside of the show. Actually, I know she is because her makeup artist told me. But nonetheless, I do think that we need to give a shout out to production because they're at least proving that this isn't true through the footage that they're showing us. Like every time someone says Chris was looking at me, they pan to a clip and at the bottom it says Chris not looking at so and so. Like it's and I don't know if Candiace is the one that kind of jumped on that because of the way that she handled things from the get. And I think that probably is some of it. Who knows if she just kind of went with it? Who knows what kind of edits they would be giving us? They probably would have made it more salacious, knowing that nothing was really behind the scenes. But I'm glad that they're doing this because it's really important. This is where I believe the fourth wall should be broken. Because we shouldn't be having these types of takedowns happen before a season starts and then you try to impact someone's family. And before everyone jumps down my throat, well, Candiace was going after Ashley's husband and da-da-da-da-da. She's messy. Yeah, she's messy, but she's picking up stuff that's already out. Things that she's not making stuff up out of thin air. I'm not saying she's perfect, but I'm saying in this situation, this doesn't match up. Because if you're going to talk about the stuff that Michael did, he actually did do those things. And there was proof, whether it was a video, whether it was like cut footage when he grabbed the production person's butt, when he was in that hotel room, when he was at the live casino. Like those were real things that could be talked about and questioned. And let's be clear, they're on a reality show. They have to talk about these things. But what I don't like is when you go and you have to literally reach into the back corner of this like shelf and grab whatever you can find to try to make something work, i.e., let's malign Chris Bassett. So I don't know, but I want you guys to tell me what you guys think. What did you think of the last episode? Do you think Candiace has grown? I feel like she has, but I definitely want to know what your thoughts are on this. And do you think Chris had anything to do with any of these things? I'm going to guess you're going to say no, but by the off chance that one of you say yes, please enlighten me with what you have found. But until the next time, guys, I will talk to you on the next video.